Hello and welcome to highcaliberminiatures.com on YouTube. So what we're doing today is a Figure Friday, Figure Wednesday kind of thing. I'm still working on the step-by-step guide for those two Alpine figures. I'm working as hard as I can on that. There's a lot of learning on the go that's happening with that, not to mention some technical issues. So I'm working hard to get that up. I don't want to rush it, however, because that would just be a waste of time. So in the meantime, we're going to be unboxing various kits that we've just gotten into the shop. We've gotten two new lines in stock at highcaliberminiatures.com that we are really excited about. NutsPlanet is the first that we're going to be covering. It's a really cool resin manufacturing company from South Korea. They specialize mostly in busts. You've probably seen their Jon Snow or Tyrion Lannister, Tywin Lannister figures. And now they've got two 75mm figures. So while we've got the entire line in stock, I really wanted to unbox the Sergeant from the 79th Regiment, Cameron Highlanders at Waterloo. So here we go. So it's all really well packaged. Start off, take a look at the main part here, the main component. There's a single casting block here, which it should be pretty easy to remove since it's on a flat surface. Really dig that. Then they've got the connecting points for the various pieces of kit. The, I believe, canteen, and then cartridge box, bayonet, sidearms, things like that. And then all the details are really well realized. I'm really excited to find a figure of Napoleonic era infantrymen in resin, because for the most part they've been done in metal, and while metal is a great medium, I do enjoy working with it. We can't, or we won't, stock them at highcaliberminiatures.com at this time. I'm not going to say never, but it's just shipping resin is so much more pleasant. Anyway, so as you can see with the tartan, it's really well detailed. The pleats are all in the back, and then it's just sort of a blank canvas here. So if you don't want to do the 79th Regiment, you can branch off, do some other, regiment, maybe Black Watch, something from one of the Canadian regiments, whatever suits your fancy. So then we'll move on. There's a couple of bags in this kit. This one's got the primary parts. Start with things like the legs. And this figure does come with a base, I should add. It's a very simple base, but it's still a good addition. And you should note to not take off these components here. Just be sure to remove the basic casting blocks, because these are connecting points. They're not actually casting blocks. So yeah. Then you've got things like the equipment, his backpack here, leather pack with the iconic bedroll, canvas bedroll, and then all of the white straps that fix everything together. Now, as I said, I'm really excited about these figures coming out in resin, which is my preferred medium. But just having all this iconic, it's just such an iconic uniform that having it as a really well realized figure in 75mm is just such a joy to have, which is why I had to pick this guy up. As you can see, he's got a hole in his mouth where he's clenching his pipe, which is a really cool detail. Let's keep going here. So you can take this off, and then there's the final components. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I know it's 1815, so a lot of the British regiments were switched over to the Brown Bess pattern of musket, or firelock, whatever you want to go with. But I believe this is the earlier iteration, the India Land pattern firelock, simply because it does not have the pistol grip underneath the trigger guard. So correct me if I'm wrong, let me know what you think about that. I had to check my references, but it does have the sight on there, the front sight, with that aligns up with the forward sight post. So maybe it is a Brown Bess, maybe it isn't. Let me know what you think. Maybe the Cameron Highlanders had a different Brown Bess that had the pistol grip removed. Not sure. But yeah, here it is anyway. What you may note is that the forward component of the ramrod, the part that's exposed, is not cast in resin, which is, for me, a really great thing because it means you don't have to tiptoe around this part and avoid snapping it off, even just taking it out of the box or removing the casting block. Because I know that I've had figures in the past where you've got the ramrod or even just the guide rod that's under the barrel on like a Model 98 or something like that in 1/35 scale, and those things break off all the time. So what they do give you is a loose piece of metal, which is the perfect size to cut off and affix to the underside of the barrel for the ramrod, the part that's exposed at least. And then you've got it in resin as well, right there, if you want to stick with the resin. There's his sidearm and his pipe are also realized in resin, which is a really, really cool addition there. At first, when I was doing my unboxing of this, I was worried that they had left out the pipe, but on closer inspection, they give it to you, actually. So that's really cool. They don't really leave any stones unturned in this kit. So here's the base. It's a really, really simple base, but I think it's also a really cool thing. It's a cool addition. It means that you don't have to go out and find your own base or get an Andrea wooden base. I know that that's an extra expense that a lot of modelers are just, you know, you sort of get fed up with the additions sometimes. And with a figure of this quality, it's nice to see that they put the time into giving you a base that's perfectly tailored to the figure. Now, it's a really simple one, as I said, but you can detail it up with some pastel work, maybe some tufts of Midland grass or some static grass around here. And yeah, this is what I'm going to be using anyway, and I am going to find a plinth that's suitably sized for this. Last but not least is this. Now, this is just a flimsy piece of metal, but I'm really, really happy that they included this in the kit because it means you don't have to go out and forge your own. Now, I know Alan, what he uses for his sheet metal is the tops of wine bottle, the stuff that covers the cork on a wine bottle. But this is a really cool addition. It's just a piece of metal foil. I think it's lead. And you can flatten this out and measure off the exact amount that you require for the musket's sling. And then bend it and work it to however you need it to be. And yeah, it's just a really cool addition. They didn't have to put this in here, but I'm glad they did. So yeah, that's the NutsPlanet Cameron Highlanders unboxing. Really, really happy that we got this line in. Check them out at highcaliberminiatures.com. We're gonna keep up with the new releases on this stuff. We're already selling out on some of them, so if you're even considering checking out NutsPlanet, I suggest you go there quick. Thanks very much for watching. As I said, I'm working hard on getting the step-by-step guide up as quick as I can, but as I said, I'm not gonna rush it and make it a waste of time. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.